Hello and welcome to Khosi Nation Fan TV. I am Bilo, I am your host, and if you are joining us for the first time, thank you so much. And secondly, if you're wondering what is this channel about, well, this is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs Football Club. I start the conversation and it continues down on the comment section below. Also, make sure to like this video so that YouTube can spread it to more people like you. For the returning subscribers, shout out to you, and today's shout out goes to Sipose Tulimane. Shout out to you. We've been engaging with you on the comment section, so if you want a shout out as well, make sure to leave a comment down below. And in today's video, we're talking about right backs, and we're looking at the 4 right backs that Chiefs has right now. And we're talking about Ungezana. I know he plays as a right center back. He can also play as a center back. Really, those positions are almost similar. And then right back, he also plays as right back as well. And we also have Unjabulo Blom. Blom is 22. He plays as a defensive midfielder, but for the majority of last season, he played as a right back. And then we have Solomons, the new boy from Swallows, 23, very versatile right back, right midfielder, and a right winger. And last but not least, Reeve Frosler. He plays as a right back, and last season they actually played him mainly as a left back. Now, what I would be doing, I will be going through 5 things that I must have for a modern center back, and I will be looking at which one of these players best fits the style that Zwane would be playing, and in how basically the formation 4-3-3 works. So if you are ready, let's go. Now, the thing that I want us to start by looking at obviously is defending, because if you're a right back, that means you're a defender, and I've purposely left the space empty because of that. If you're thinking of who is the better defender among the 4, then if you start by ranking them, obviously Ungezana would be number 1, because his natural position is right here, playing centrally. And the following player, the one who pulls after him, would be Ublom. Defensively, Ublom is really good defensively. We actually, I think the first game he played, it was either in a Black Label Cup, calling Black Label Cup, and he was playing, I think, as a second centre back. And it was really good. So you see very good one-on-one when you have Ungezana and he is one-on-one with the left midfielder. Let's say Abeka Bantu, no one is covering him. Then I'm picking Ngezana to come in and face off with this man. If not Ngezana, then I am picking Ublom to come and mark this man, because they are that good defensively. This is not to say Frosler or Solomons are bad defenders, but masibabeka ngokwe hierarchy, kuzoqala vele Ungezana and then Blom follows, then Frosler, then Solomons ekugcineni. Ukuthi ke vele ke uSolomons, we haven't seen him being tested under the system of Chiefs, so it might also sound unfair to him because we've not seen him much. Let's reset the scene and go to the second characteristic of a good and modern center back. Now, as in izinto, if you've noticed, some players, like left midfielder is running and there's someone who's here and there's another player who's running behind. If out of these 4 players, we're talking defensively now, let's just say you have Ungezana here and he has to mark 2 people offside. The first thing is obviously, how do you position yourself in this case? One, Lomchita is running here, which means he might take this defender, which effectively means there is a clear space that's open for this guy to run into. And if Ungezana commits here, then this guy has an open net, basically. He's gifted a goal, because if Bola Zobala, then it would be played over, and then there's a one-on-one with the keeper is beating. And positioning then speaks to the ability of a player to identify a situation such as this. How am I going to mark? Let's just say we are caught out like this. How am I going to mark? Am I going to commit to this one, or am I going to just stick to this one and make sure I try to show him the byline in this case, which was on the side. And when he cuts the ball back, eventually he will be there to mark him. So when it also comes to positioning on the defensive side, I will still give this to Ungezana mainly, because Ublom, when it comes to defending, he's good. But when it comes to positioning, now we are talking about something else. It's two different things. You can defend or you can position yourself in a good manner, because just because you can defend, that does not mean your positioning is good. You understand what I'm saying? You can be a good defender, but not being able to read the game is Okshaya. And I think that's the area that Blom needs to work on defensively. And it's not just on the defensive side as well. It's also when we're actually attacking. I said this thing many times last year when we were actually after matches and we had lost. So there were instances last season where it would be the keeper with the ball right here, and then I'm a center back Sakala, and then this guy is covering, and what he's doing is also blocking this pass to the player, and then Balugu to Matt, because well, I think he would start, and then the pass to the middle is also blocked, and the right midfielder has also blocked this pass. So essentially what you have, let's just put a number 9 here. What you have now, you have a team that's boxed in, and what I would just see Uplom staying behind here, and that's not good, because now if you ball, let's say Ligu Quinik here, how is he gonna pass you the ball if engakwazi cheaper, because or if he's under pressure and if when I don't drop and come to this area and receive the ball, because it's small things. You can just break the press, all of a sudden 4 players are out and now you are starting the attack. But if you stay behind this player, then you are in a very, very tricky situation, and usudlisa team and you are bambezeli movement. And also with Ungezana, as good as he is with regards to defending and reading and positioning himself when it goes backwards, what I've seen actually is that Frosler is the better player when it comes to that, because now he knows the movement when he was even playing as a left back. He knew when to drift in, and in that way the pass will go directly to him this way, or to drop even further and come and collect the ball from the side. So his ability to drop in to spaces and CE base that are available, I actually think he's the one who is better with being aware and positioning himself when we're attacking, but not necessarily when we're defending. He is good, he's a good defender, but I'm saying when we're going forward, I prefer him as a person also receive a baller or also a positioner, because another thing with positioning, it's not just about when we are defending, it's also about when we get to these areas. Where are you positioned? Because if you are here and the ball is wide, if versatility of Frosler allows him to drift inside, so that when he gets the ball and there's someone running wide here, quick back post, he can still whoop the ball with his left foot, quick back post. And because of how versatile Frosler is, he can either, Blom did do this, come out here, but the person who's better equipped or has equipped himself better is Frosler, because either with his left or right foot he can do a better job, and it means his positioning, whether he drifts inside or goes outside, is still not a problem for him. So positioning wise, offensively Frosler is better, but defensively then you'd have to give that to Ungezana, which I don't think Ungezana will be playing as a right back, by the way. So Ungezana I'm keeper right now, but we'll move on to the third thing, a very important one, which is stamina. If you're a right back, modern right back, or very right back, really, mostly modern match, because if you're playing, you need to come collect the ball here, pass the ball here, make a movement. into idlalayo nje wena, up down up down up down the whole game. And this is the sad thing about Frosler, and this is the thing vele that saddens me when I think about Frosler, ukuthi playing as a right back and it being so demanding kuyamshaya sometimes, or even as a left back, because uFrosler angikhumbuli bemhlaba kuthiwa nangiselimele. Usually ulimala this thing yokuthi it's a muscle injury, and you can see ukuthi okay, now it seems like it strains him basically, because now he has to run up and down, and as much as ubona ukuthi leg day yakhe is improving each and every year and is trying to stay fit, but kuyamushaya. And that is where you find a player like Ublom having a bit of an edge, because vele how he's set up and how he's been playing, it allows him to be that workaholic kind of a player. Because if you're playing as a defensive midfielder, vele kusho ukuthi ukujwayela ukusebenza kanzima. Ungezana ngeke ngimbale, because already vele he's a defender, and I don't think he should be counted here unless coach decides to play Ungcobo noKwinik as centre backs. Then all of a sudden you have Ungezana in contention to be right back. But in this case, as much as Reeve ebanenkinga yama injuries, I would still have him play with right back, because of the fact that he would have a cover. For example, if you're thinking of a player like Trent Alexander-Arnold, akekho umdlali engimaziyo oshaya amaphasi njengaloya right now and playing that position, or is James Bayazama and all the other players. But when it comes to assists, ukompita not De Bruyne, and if you know Kevin De Bruyne, you know how good he is. But when it comes to passing as a right back, Trent creates more than almost all people that are supposed to be creating ball. However, when it comes to his defensive side, Aibantu, it's tough. It's just difficult. So when it comes to that, he then depends on the likes of Van Dijk, ukuthi bazomkavela behind him, and in that case, kwesinye isikhathi ukavela okunat as right center backs, and vele nathi that's what we should depend on kwesinye isikhathi, ukuthi if we want Frosler to come up here and be creating ball and passing the balls, or swapping Dolly, inverting and going inwards, then back here must select us an attack, and we are pushing every one of our players forward. Then we must make it in such a way yokuthi this guy covers him, whoever this will be, maybe Ngezana, and then maybe Matt or whoever will be playing as a CDM, drops between our defenders, so that when they try to catch us on a counter, we have enough cover. So that's the thing that we need. We also need to be smart, because we can't just do however we like in these situations. Now, if we move on to Indaba speed, who's the quickest among the three? Again, it's unfair for me to Solomons. I haven't included him much, but the other reason why I have not included Solomon's much is because I've not really had enough time to watch him play. So for me to just come out and say, hey, Solomons is the quickest, it won't be fair. So when it comes to who's quick, Frosler is quick enough, Blom is quick enough. But in all honesty, I'm driving towards the point of Uti. I think Frosler would and should be the starter. I think Frosler should be the starter, because when we're going forward, when you're needing stamina, give him cover, fine. He has a stamina, but he also needs a cover because of all the injuries he has. Awareness and ability and being equipped to play all those positions, I still give it to Frosler. And defending, he's still a good defender. He's a good enough defender. I would say, obviously, Ublom is better in defending, but Frosler is also good enough, given Uguti, the central defensive midfielder should cover him, and also the centre backs should also put in their own shift to make sure Uguti they cover him, because Masakugutu says Olimala because no one is covering him, then sizoba nenkinga. So another thing that is important, Vele, that favors Frosler so much in this right back position is the technical ability. Ublom, we saw him many times playing Udola Tolibola in this position, and then Ashai reverse pass, pull this one in, Ashai pass la. And then Ublom is running here. Avela Ashai pass on Azui, or even playing passes from here. Avela Ashai twat, that's what they say. Ashai pass twat, and it's not something that you want from your right back, and it's not to say also Ublom is a horrible player, but it's to say my personal preference is to have Reeve Frosler play as a right back because technically he's second to none. Speed, good enough. Stamina, it's there. He has played that position, and positioning and awareness is also good enough. And defending, he's a good defender, and if he's not good enough, then compensate by playing Abadlali who will cover him. What do you guys think? Who do you think Chiefs will play as a right back, as a preferred right back? Because I personally think Ungezana will play as a centre back, and Ublom should get a start somewhere. I think defensive midfielder, and there will be a cover there. So there will be enough time for him, Ublom, to mature and learn his craft. So with regards to Solomon's, we will see what happens with him, because if we do play Ukigen as a 10, then it opens a space for Odilon to also go and play Kuma right winger there. And Ungezana will be playing as a centre back. I think Blom will play as a defensive midfielder, and the winner for me will be Reeve, who would then play as a right back. So guys, what do you think of all this that I've said? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Rank these right backs based on these criteria: defending, positioning and awareness, stamina, speed, and lastly technical awareness. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you on the next one, and until next time, remember, equals and Pelumoy.